Hey guys, it's 23. This is the Märche M3 shotgun by Protagonist. This is a standalone M3 shotgun that is taken from the Ray avatar that is also by Protagonist. While this is the same shotgun that I showcased a while ago, this now has more added features. And because this is a standalone shotgun, I thought I'll showcase it again. So with that being said, this is basically the Bellini M3 shotgun. If you're not sure what's so special about the M3, basically it has the feature where you can go into pump mode and semi mode. So in terms of what you'll get the M3 Unity package. You'll also get the Pochi Shader Unity package that you'll have to install as well. There's also a manual that shows off how to use the gun and also how to install the gun. And that is in Chinese, English, Japanese, and Korean. Setting up the M3 is really easy. All you have to do is drag the prefab onto your avatar. There are a couple of prefabs that you can choose from. There is the full prefab that you can choose. There's also a light version that has less features. In this case, I am using the full prefab. Now all you have to do is drag and drop the prefab onto your avatar, adjust, scale, and then you're ready to upload. Depending on your avatar, you will probably have to adjust it to fit your avatar. Once you've done that, you can pretty much upload it. This uses the modular avatar, so it does it automatically for you. I do want to say that this asset is right defaults on, so if your avatar is right defaults off, you'll have to consider that. Once you upload it into your avatar, you'll look like this. You have to go into the ready menu to turn on the actual asset, like so. As you can see, when you turn it on, it does this cool effect. It does the same when you turn it off. I'll go through the ready menu first. There is a menu control. Inside that, you can encrypt it like so. So you can encrypt it to your hand like so. You can change it to pump mode, and you can change it back to semi, and you can also disengage the safety and also engage it as well. As you know, there's a toggle to turn it off and on. There's a toggle for double mode, which I'll showcase later. There's an attachment menu. In there you can change the barrel length so you can have it shorter. You can also have a handguard and a match saver like so, and there's also a side saddle like so. Out of that and into the next one, there is a ammo selection. You have buckshot, you have slugs, and then you also have dragon's breath. Back out of there and into the next menu, there is a settings menu. In there you have an infinite ammo, you have a recoil toggle, which basically turns off the flip each time you shoot it. There's also a toggle to turn off the screen shake. Each time you shoot, your screen shakes, so you can turn that off. There's also a bullet time, and there's also a particle light, which basically means that each time you shoot, it emits a light. So if you want to save on performance, you can turn it off. That is it for the menu. I'll show how to use it. To grab it off your person, you have to reach behind you. It is a bone that you have to grab like so. Once you have it in your hand, you can two-hand it like so. You can also let go with your right hand and it will snap to a fixed position like so. When you first upload into your avatar, you will have to disengage the safety. Now, there's two ways you can do this. You can do it manually by pressing the crossbow safety that is located just behind the trigger like so. You will have to do a finger point, and then you have to press it like so. The other way is through the ready menu, like I showed you before. Once you're ready to shoot, you have to do a fist with your right hand. It is weighted, so you have to pull back on the trigger. Like so. If you want to go into pump action mode, you can either do it two ways again. You can do it manually. There is a lever in front of the hanger that you have to press, like so. You have to do a finger point in order to press it. If you do not, it won't work. Now once it's in pump action mode, each time you shoot, you will have to pump it. Just like a regular shotgun. Once you run out of ammo, there are three ways to load the tube. First things first though, if you're on semi-auto, the bolt will lock open like so. There is a bone on your left hip to grab a new shell like so. And what you can do now is drop it into the chamber. There are two things you can do. You can either rack the bolt like so, or there is a bolt release button on the receiver. It looks like a little button. You just press it like so. The first way to load the tube, you can do it normally. You can just grab a single shell like so from your left hip, and you can insert it one by one. Or what you can do is you can twin load. You can grab two shells like so, and then feed them both directly into the tube. And the third way that's new for this update is that you can now quad load. You will have to do a rock and roll instead of a fist to quad load, like so. So you can insert the first two, and then insert the next two, like so. I'll show you how to load up the side saddle and the match saver. In this case, you will have to load them individually, like so. Like so. To use them is very simple. With the match saver, there is a bone you have to grab, and then you just pull back, like so. And then now you can just press the bolt release button, like so. To use the side saddle, it's the same. So you just grab them individually, like so. Easy. So I'll demonstrate the different ammo types you get. So you have buckshot, You have slugs. And now Dragon's Breath. Pretty cool. What's new and the highlight of the new update is that now you can dual wield like so. The way dual wielding works is that it's kind of like you shoot, you throw away guns, and then you spawn new guns. Kind of like Reaper from Overwatch if you know him. So if I demonstrate, I'm out of ammo, so I throw them away like so, and then grab new ones like so. In order to grab new guns, there are two contacts in front of you. There's one on your right and there's one on your left. All you have to do is just grab them both like so. Now if you're wondering, can you use this in pump mode? The answer is yes and no. So if you turn on pump mode and you shoot, if you try to shoot with your right hand, you can't shoot. If you shoot with your left hand, it's just still semi. So it kind of works, it kind of doesn't. If you're wondering, if you throw away the left hand and you're trying to pump it, you can do it, but it just keeps want to spawn a new one. Unless you do it down here. Like so. But I think it's better to use them in semi. Like so. One thing I do want to point out is that with the right hand, it does seem to have a fixed animation position. So your fingers are not tracked. It has a preset animation that you kind of just, pulls the trigger, which I think is pretty cool. The only thing is that this doesn't really fit my avatar. It may differ for your avatar, but for me, it doesn't really fit, but it still works. And that is pretty much it for the M3. Now I do want to go over Ray just a little bit real quickly. So this is Ray 2.0, so pretty cool. With the new update, there are a couple of things you'll get. The biggest and the highlight is that Ray now has face tracking. So if you have face tracking, you can use Ray with face tracking. I can't demonstrate it for you guys right now. I did just get my bubble in the mail, but I don't have the necessary parts to put it together, so I will have to wait a little bit to use face tracking. Of course, you'll get all the cool stuff with the M3, and because it is more custom fitted to Ray, it's more accurate. And then finally, you'll get damaged textures like so pretty cool. Just like with Tel, where she also got damaged textures, so now you can be more damaged, worn out, and so I think that's pretty cool. While this update is about the M3, I did want to quickly show off the new update with Ray. I think it's pretty cool, and I think it's also worth showing off. I think that it's really cool that you can get the M3 as a standalone now, rather than having to get it through Ray. I really like the M3, it feels really great, it feels really good. And also, now that you can quad load, I think it will make the gun even more fun to use. I do want to say to the creator Danny, congratulations on the new update. I think this is a fantastic model and also a fantastic avatar that you created. You and the team did a fantastic job, and I think you deserve all the praise and also all the sales that you deserve. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. So to find the stats, you can go to the booth page. It is listed as 2550 yen. You'll probably see as 2000 yen, and that goes to the 26th, but base price is 2550 yen. And in case if you're wondering with Ray, it is listed as 7000 yen. And of course to the 22nd of this month, it is listed as 2500 yen. But if you like what you see, why not check this out? Okay, thank you, bye bye.